Hello, hello, bold, blessed, and seasoned family. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast where we celebrate life after 55 with faith, wisdom, and a little sass. I'm your host, Phyllis Tucker Saunders. Now, I don't know about you, but lately things have just felt a little off, different, like the air has changed or people are saying something is shifting. And honestly, I feel it too. So today, let's talk about it. Let's talk about this energy shift so many of us are feeling in our lives in the US and all over the world, actually, and what it might mean for us moving forward. First, let's break it down. What do we mean by energy shift? An energy shift isn't something we can always see, it's more like something we sense. It's that feeling in our spirit, our body, or our mind that things are changing, even if nothing looks different on the outside. Some people describe it as feeling anxious or unsettled. Others say it feels like time is moving faster, people are acting different, or things that used to make sense just don't anymore. Have you noticed that? Have you felt something different in the air? Well, you're not alone. Now, why does everything feel so strange? Let's be real. So much has happened in just a few short years. We've faced a global pandemic, political division, economic challenges, natural disasters, and a rise in violence and unrest. That's a lot for anyone. All of this has changed how we live, how we connect, and how we think about the future. And even though things may look normal on the outside, the inside of us and the energy around us feels different. It's like the whole world is holding its breath. Many people say they don't trust like they used to. They don't feel safe in the same ways. And the things they used to care about don't matter as much anymore. That's what a shift feels like. The ground under our feet is still there, but it doesn't feel steady. Now, let's ask the question that many people are thinking about. Could some of this strange feeling have something to do with Donald Trump? Whether you voted for him, voted against him, or didn't vote at all, it's hard to deny that America feels different today than it did just a few years ago. For some Americans, Trump represents hope. They believe he is making the country stronger, securing the border, putting America first, and challenging a political system they no longer trust. For others, he represents something very different. They worry about growing political division, harsh public rhetoric, attacks on long-standing democratic norms, uncertainty about America's role in the world, and fear about where the country is headed. Whatever your opinion, one thing seems clear. People often assume the worst about someone simply because of a campaign sign in their yard or a hat on their head. I saw a guy, I think I was on the train or something. He had one of those red caps. I wanted to start a conversation about it with him, but I changed my mind. But this kind of division affects us emotionally. It affects our stress levels. It affects how safe we feel. And when millions of people are carrying fear, anger, disappointment, or uncertainty at the same time, it can feel like the whole atmosphere has changed. Several things contribute to this change. The pandemic changed us. Wars around the world changed us. The rising cost of living changed us. Artificial intelligence is changing how we work and communicate. Social media has changed how we treat one another. And yes, our politics, including Trump, have become part of that larger story. Maybe what we're calling an energy shift is really humanity standing at a crossroads. Will we choose fear or wisdom? Will we choose hatred or understanding? Will we spend all our energy proving someone else wrong, or will we spend our energy making our families, our communities, and our nation better? As a woman of faith, I believe scripture reminds us that our greatest battles are not just political, they are spiritual. The Apostle Paul wrote in Ephesians 6, chapter and 12th verse, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." That doesn't mean we ignore politics. It means we remember that no president, whether Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or anyone else, is the ultimate source of our hope. Our hope must be rooted in something stronger than politics. Governments change, presidents come and go, but our values, our faith, our compassion, and our commitment to one another must remain. Here's the thing. Even when the energy feels strange or heavy, it doesn't always mean something bad is happening. It can also mean something new is being born, like a baby about to be delivered or a seed about to break through the ground. There's pressure, there's pain, and there's a lot of unknowns, but there's also hope. Maybe this shift is waking people up. Maybe it's calling us to slow down, listen more, take care of each other, and get back to what matters most: our families, our health, our faith, our planet. Maybe the shift is helping us remember that we're all connected, that we need one another more than we thought, and we definitely need God to comfort us and guide us. As I've been praying about all of this, I was reminded that while the world around us is always changing, God never does. The Bible tells us that change is a part of life. Nations rise and fall, economies go up and down, technology changes, people change, relationship change, even our own bodies change. If you're over 55, you don't need me to tell you that. Every morning we wake up discovering something new that creaks, pops, or aches. The Bible even tells us that this world, just as we know it, is temporary. In 1 Corinthians 7, chapter and 31st verse, Paul reminds us that this world in its present form is passing away. In other words, don't get too comfortable thinking things will always stay the same. They won't. But here's good news. While everything around us may seem uncertain, God is not. God's love doesn't change. God's character doesn't change. God's promises don't change. In Revelation's 21st chapter and the 5th verse, God promises something even more amazing. God says, "I am making everything new." Think about that for a moment. God isn't finished yet. What we're living through today is not the end of the story. Then there's one of my favorite passages in Ecclesiastes 3rd chapter and the 1st verse. It says, "There's a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens." Maybe that's what we're feeling. Maybe we're living through another season. Some seasons are joyful, others are painful. Some bring growth while others bring loss, but every season has a purpose even when we don't understand it. So if you've been saying something just feels different, you might be right. The world is changing, the culture is changing, America is changing, but our God has not changed. And that's what gives me peace. When everything around me feels uncertain, I know where to place my feet. I stand on the one who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. So maybe the question isn't, why is everything changing? Maybe the better question is, who am I trusting while everything is changing? For me, the answer is simple. I trust the God who never changes. So, what can you and I do when things feel strange and unfamiliar? First of all, we can breathe and stay grounded. Take time to sit in silence, pray, walk in nature, journal. Let our body and spirit catch up. Next, check in with people. Reach out to someone. We're not the only ones feeling this. And next, limit the noise. Turn off the news sometimes. Y'all, please help me with this. Help me turn off that news. Take a break from social media. Everything happening in the world doesn't have to live in our head 24/7. Ask bigger questions. What do I really want now? What brings me peace? What is God showing me in this moment? Because maybe, just maybe, this shift is leading us somewhere higher, deeper, and better. So, yes, the world feels different right now. And yes, it might feel strange, but we were made for such a time as this. We're not crazy. We're not weak. We are just sensitive to the shift. And that sensitivity is a strength. So lean in, stay open, and trust that change, even uncomfortable change, can lead to powerful growth. Bold Blessing Season family, thanks for spending time with me today. If today's episode gave you some comfort, do me a favor, subscribe so you never miss an episode. Hit the like button and share it with someone who needs a reminder that God is still in control. Until next time, stay bold, stay blessed, and keep shining. Remember, season doesn't mean finish, it means anointed and ready. I'm Phyllis Tucker Saunders, reminding you that life is a journey. Enjoy the ride.